Hi guys, I am going to do a quick cheese board. I'm waiting on some other projects to dry that I can hopefully get to today. I'm going to do purples and silver with this one. I'm going to use Sea Paints Imperial and Hocus Pocus for my purples. I'm going to use a little bit of Illuminate white and a little bit of Illuminate black dye. I might mix a drop of each to get a gray. And I am going to use some Silver Dollar from Glitter Heart Company for some sparkle. And I may just mix a little bit of white iridescent in the white dye. So I'm going to mix those up quick and we'll get started. You can absolutely use these cheese boards. I wouldn't use the decorated part for cutting on. I would only use the wood part to cut, but you can certainly put already cut foods up on top. Hand wash carefully so you don't scratch the epoxy up too much. I mixed up my Pro Marine before I came on, so you didn't have to watch that process. I'm using the Pro Marine tabletop epoxy for this project. When you're using paint, you have to be careful not to put too much in. You can tell how thick this already got. So I'm going to add a little bit of epoxy to that. If you use too much, it gets stringy and impossible to work with. So hopefully that'll be okay. I'll try and use a little bit less of the next one. I'm going to mix up my black next. I don't know how these bottles are sealed. They're brand new bottles, so I think I got it. Yep. And I poked a hole in the side of the bottle. Go figure. Par for the course with me. Try not to poke a hole in the white. I'll wipe the black off. Of course, I used a bent hook. I use a straight hook for the white, which might not even be sealed, so okay. Or maybe it is. I have a lot of tools over here and they all look the same. There we go. I'm sure we got it that time. A little bit of white in one cup. I'm going to put a couple drops of white in the other because we're going to tone that one down to gray. Mix the black. Rich, rich, rich black. I'll make sure to only use a tiny bit of that for this project. I do have another project to back behind this one to use the extra epoxy I already mixed. There's the white. This is the start of the gray. Now, I don't think I'm going to mix any actual black in. I'm just going to use a drop of the black I already mixed. Just a little drizzle of it. Perfect. Give it a mix. Nice light gray. I could use paint for that, whatever. I just didn't want to. I'm going to mix the glitter in this cup. If I can open it without spreading glitter everywhere. I have this same glitter, or very similar glitter, in a whole bunch of different brands. This just happened to be the first one in the bag, so, or in the bucket, so this is the one I went with for this project. It is one of my favorites. It's a silver holographic. Mix. Meaning it has some chunky, some fine. I want it relatively thick, but not too thick. You can always add more, you can't take away. The only way you can take away is to add more epoxy. And I actually think that's pretty good. I have a 6 cup. I don't know what I intended to do with the 6 cup. I'll just keep it set aside in case I come up with something. Okay, it's a little cool here today. It's a lot cool here today. So, my epoxy's kind of thick to begin with. I'm going to switch gloves real quick because I got glitter all over that pair. I'm actually just going to swap to one. I like to base with a blank coat of epoxy before I do any application. I find it helps the epoxy move better. So I'm just going to do that quick with my gloved hand. I'm going to try and keep the epoxy off the rest of the board. I'm going to go past this white line that I painted. I did tape the back of the board off. I will probably keep the darker colors towards the bottom where it's going to overlap, so you won't see the wood through the white bases, just because I do have whites and grays and it'd be visible through there. I did level my board side to side. I have it slightly off front to back. So this end's actually lower, so it'll work that way a bit if it moves. So I think I'm going to start with the dark purple. And I do want it to run down the sides. I'm going to try and run a thin line of black. Just got that all over the tripod. And I'll do a quick line of gray. I'm going to do another line of gray here. And then, I know what the other cup was for. I never mixed my other purple because I didn't want it to sit as long. So, I will do that quick because I want that purple for this end. I knew I counted right. Just going to do a little dab on the end of my stick. Okay, that is a very rich, vibrant purple. And I'm going to pour relatively heavy on this one because a lot of it is going to fall off the edges. Okay. Now I'm going to run my glitter down the middle. I know I have a lot of extra mixed up, but again, I do have another project geared up to use this on. Just going to drizzle a tiny bit of glitter here and there on the purples, just for a little bit of sparkle. I might run a tiny black line also. Okay, now I'm going to just hit it with a little bit of heat and let it roll. I don't know if you can see all the bubbles popping. That's a result of the room being so cold. Pearl Marine usually doesn't mix up with this many bubbles. But they'll all work out, so that's fine. I'm going to put a little more of this purple on the edge. Quite a bit of lacing in the black. I think maybe a quick, just a couple of drips here and there, because I did lose quite a bit of the purple over the edge. Maybe just a quick drizzle of this purple too. I might drop a tiny bit of white along the edge. And a little more heat, and I think I'm going to call it good enough. I'm just trying to break up the harsh lines of the purple. And the white. Okay, I'm going to find my torch and torch this real quick, and I am going to call it a day. Real quick, you don't want to cook your epoxy. Like that. Alright, that is going to be it for this project. Told you it was going to be a quick one. I will let it cure overnight. I will remove the tape from the back side and sand it, and then I will get it some wood oil and oil it up, and it will be ready for use. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.